is best known as being the Hollywood agent that the character Ari Gold in Entourage was based on. He and Patrick Whitesell are heavyweights in Hollywood. They jumped into the sports game a couple years ago when their company acquired IMG, which is A, the largest producer of sports programming in the world, and B, represents big name clients like Cam Newton and Alex Ovechkin and Novak Djokovic. So now everybody's curious to see how Emanuel and Whitesell will shape their sports property.
Steve Ballmer, number 9 on the list, just as he was last year. Came on with a lot of bluster, but what have the Clippers been doing lately for him? Here's 3 things he can do to make himself move up the list next year. Move the team to Anaheim, change the name of the Clippers, and then get a great new TV deal done. He's still on prime ticket. He's the one who could make a deal and television that's really groundbreaking.
Mark Walter is the Dodgers chairman. Not a guy I see here at Dodger Stadium very often anymore these days. You know, it's easy for fans to forget, I think, just how far this team has come, this franchise has come from the final days of the Frank McCourt era to the beginning of the Guggenheim era. 4 years, bad TV contract, and no World Series will do that to a man. But Mark Walter is still a very rich and powerful guy. The Dodgers aren't maybe spending quite as much as they did a couple years ago. So that influence is still there, even if it's a little bit more out of sight, out of mind.
The Lakers may have finished the 2015-16 season with their worst record in franchise history. The Lakers president Jeannie Buss oversaw all that, but she's still considered a significant figure in the Los Angeles sports landscape for 2 reasons. She has a lot of familiarity with Laker fans when she ran the business side under her dad, the late Jerry Buss, but there's also going to be a lot of questions on the long-term future moving forward. Will she make changes in the front office? Too hard to say at this point, but within a year, we might see some changes.
LA has maybe grown into the best sports city in the world while Eric Garcetti's been in office. Got the NFL back after 21 years, and Garcetti's the guy who the NFL commissioner called before the owners' meeting that voted the Rams through to gauge the interest in the area. On top of that, Garcetti's baby has been the Olympics, and the very first letter he wrote when he took office was to the USOC requesting the Olympics. He's seen that through. LA is one of 4 finalists and maybe a co-favorite with Paris to land the 2024 games, which would really elevate the city on a global scale, and Garcetti deserves a lot of credit for that.
Vin Scully, what more can you say about him? This is his 67th and final year in the Vin Scully press box at Dodger Stadium. More and more every year you see tributes rolling in, visiting broadcasters, even the umpires will at one point in the series turn around and salute him. So just the outpouring of support, not only outside of Los Angeles, but I think notably in Los Angeles. He got a street named after him, so it's been a good final year for Vin Scully.
It's not exactly breaking news that Kobe Bryant would be considered one of the top icons in the Los Angeles sports landscape. After all, he won 5 NBA championships. He's 3rd place on the league's all-time scoring list. But what's remarkable is Kobe still stayed relevant in his final season that coincided with the Lakers finishing with their worst record in franchise history, and Kobe shooting career lows in terms of shooting percentage. Now, a lot of that had to do with this farewell tour, but I think it also speaks to the inroads he's been able to make, not just in Los Angeles, but globally.
Who else but Phil Vanshoots gets his name on a trophy that's given to the MLS champion? That shows a lot of power. Obviously, Staples Center is his foundation. It not only holds just the NBA, but NHL, tennis, boxing. It's become a powerful entity in Los Angeles, and Anschutz comes on at number 3. Most of that's based on how you can measure the team's success with the Kings, the Lakers, and the Galaxy.
Casey Wasserman has built a sports agency from scratch into one of the largest in the world. He represents more than 20% of the NBA. He's got big name clients in every sport. Andrew Luck, Russell Westbrook, Giancarlo Stanton signed the largest contract in American sports history. On top of that, Wasserman was handpicked by LA Mayor Eric Garcetti to be the chairman of the 2024 Olympic Bid Committee, and he was the chairman of the committee that just brought the 2021 Super Bowl to LA.
Stan Kroenke debuts on the list last year at number 8 based on the fact that he's just going to put a stadium in Inglewood, but now he's up to number 1 because he's not only delivered that, but he's got a team with him, and the NFL trusts him, so that must mean they trust in his power to get things done. The other thing is, he's not an owner like Frank McCourt. He's got some money, he's invested in sports, he knows the platforms, he knows the landscape, and he can get things done.